Hey guys, alright, David here. It has been about 1 month since I got the Flip MinoHD. Again, very special thanks to Cisco for sending this my way. I've been loving this camera. Honestly, I'm liking it a lot more than I expected, but I'll talk about that in a minute. So first of all, I just want to go over the basic specs of this camera because I have a lot of people asking me what kind of format it captures in, what kind of frame rate, and all that good stuff. So here we go. Alright, so first of all, I should mention what's actually included with the Flip MinoHD camera. Firstly, the camera's included. Duh. Second of all, it comes with a soft case. Keep in mind though, this is a free soft case. This isn't like a case you'll bring around as your main case to have your flip camera protected and scratch free. I actually bought a case for pretty cheap off of Amazon. I'll link it in the sidebar if you guys are interested. And this case is great, and it comes with a little mini tripod which I'm using right now, which is awesome. The Flip MinoHD also includes a wrist strap, which I do not have on me, but I honestly don't see myself using the wrist strap. And it comes with a quick start guide, meaning a little paper guide to show you how to do the interface controls, zoom, all that good stuff. And it even comes with software called Flip Share software that works on Windows and Mac, and let me tell you, it works great. Alright, so now let's talk actual specs. This is the Flip MinoHD 2nd generation, so this is brushed aluminum, and it has a very nice metal feel to it. It's very solid. It's 120 minutes storage and 8 gigabytes onboard memory, I believe. So there's no need to spend money on an extra memory card, well, a memory card, like I did with the Kodak ZI-8. But then again, the ZI-8 offers you more storage because you can buy larger memory cards. It kind of goes both ways. Anyway, the screen size is 2.0 inches. It has a fixed focus and it records in 30 frames per second, 720p. The Flip MinoHD records in MPEG-4 format, which is standard, so if you're using Windows Movie Maker or iMovie or Final Cut, any of those standard applications, then it should work just fine. Also, when you plug in the Flip camera, it shows up as a flash drive, which is great. Even though the Flip Share software is awesome and all, I don't really prefer to use it. My personal preference is I like to plug the Flip video camera in, transfer it onto my desktop, the videos, since it shows up as a flash drive, and then go from there. Unfortunately, this camera does not have a photo mode, so you cannot take still pictures for that good moment. But honestly, let's totally be honest here, guys. Does anyone really use that mode? I certainly don't. My Panasonic PVGS500 has a photo mode, and my ZI-8 even has a photo mode. And I honestly never use either of them. That's why I have my iPhone with me at all times. Well, to make phone calls, obviously, but it's also great for taking pictures. This camera does have an onboard mic, obviously. It's mono. However, there is no external mic support like the ZI-8 has. It does include HDMI output, so if you want to output the video to a TV instead of your Mac or PC or Linux box or whatever you use, then you can with ease of use. Unfortunately, the HDMI cable is not included. You're going to have to spend extra on that. And finally, there is a tripod mount on the bottom of the Flip camera, which I thought was great because I'm using it right now. Alright, so let's get on to the pros and cons. You know me. Well, hopefully you do by now. I like to start out with the cons. That way we end on pros. In other words, a positive note, because I'm an optimistic kind of person. And plus, I really like this Flip camera for many reasons. But unfortunately, let's point out the few cons right now. First of all, I should say that the Flip MinoHD is very light on features. Basically, it records video, and that's it. It only records video. There's no photo mode, there's no image stabilization, there's no optical zoom. There's only one recording mode, meaning you cannot do macro, unfortunately. And there's no mic in, as mentioned earlier. Secondly, while I did say the touch interface is very cool, it honestly can get in the way sometimes. For instance, if you're trying to hold the camera like this and then press record, you might press another button by mistake since they're not physical buttons. However, I should say the only physical button on the back is the actual record button. But all around that are touch interface buttons. So basically my example is I would hold the camera like this, but I accidentally zoom in a little bit instead of pressing record. I found that to be a little annoying, so I like to press record first while looking at the camera, and then flip it around, no pun intended, and then start my video. Not a huge deal. And finally, the third con is not a huge one, but it is worth mentioning, is that you can only charge via USB, unfortunately. This isn't a real huge deal to me because I bought myself the Flip Video wall charger for my Flip Mino, and I believe this works with all the Flip cameras. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it does. I have a link to this in Amazon, so if you want to buy it, you can. Basically, you charge via the USB port, and then you plug it into your standard wall socket. And now my iPhone is ringing. Hola. Alright, now let's talk pros. First of all, let me say that this build quality really surprised me. The ZI-8 I thought was nice, but until I held the Flip Video, the Flip MinoHD second generation, don't forget, it's the second generation. Guys, I gotta say, I was really impressed. If you watch my unboxing video, you'll see that I honestly love the feel of it. It has a very solid build quality to it. It doesn't feel too light, it doesn't feel too heavy, it's just right. I will say the camera is thin, so don't expect that full kind of feeling you have holding an iPhone or a BlackBerry. Sorry, I just shook my desk. But I gotta say, the build quality is excellent. The interface is incredibly easy. You record, you can press play to preview them, you can go from video to video. I thought the interface was a little better in the ZI-8, but if you haven't used the ZI-8, it doesn't really matter because the Flip Video interface is already very well done. It's very clean, very simple. Just like that, I'm outside. Yes, I interrupt my own Flip MinoHD video review for this quick test clip to show you guys the video quality, since I haven't really talked about that yet. Let me just say this video quality is great. It's 720p, so don't expect like extra crisp, perfect HD footage out of a $200 camcorder. But for what you pay, guys, believe me when I say you get an excellent product. Video quality is great, 30 frames per second. It looks amazing when editing, amazing when exporting, and amazing when outputting. And as you can probably see, video quality looks good. I'm outside right now, and this should actually give you a good idea of EIS to see if the camera is shaky or not, since this is actual test footage. And I guess that's it. On to the rest of my review. Alright, so this next pro is a huge deal to me. As you know, I have a ZI-8. The ZI-8 is a great camera. Unfortunately, the onboard mic pretty much is not that great. It has a very bassy, deep feel to it. My point is the Flip MinoHD second generation, the mic is great. It's very sensitive, but you can adjust that in the settings, I believe. And you might be hearing like a fan type noise in the background. That's actually my Mac Pro graphics card, so that should give you a pretty good idea of how well it picks up the sound. But I gotta say, I really like this mic. It's very clear. It has a very nice treble feel sound to it. And basically, I was just really impressed by it. And finally, the biggest pro of all, guys, I cannot stress this enough. This is why I prefer to use this camera over my ZI-8s for video blogging, is that the fixed focus just works better at arm's length. Alright, let's face it, the average video blogger is like this, holding out, blah blah blah. And sometimes you're not sure whether it's going to be focused on you, right? Because it's a fixed focus. You got to be at a certain length for the camera to actually be in focus, for the lack of a better word. The ZI-8, one thing I really do not like about... Okay, back up a little bit. One thing I do like about the ZI-8 is the inclusion of a macro mode. However, the fact that they include a landscape mode and macro mode, landscape mode is still too close for video blogging. Macro mode is too far from here, so I have to be this close to my face. There is a hack where you can have the switch in between the landscape and macro modes, and then it's within arm's length basically. But you have no idea how much frustration I went through making videos with that thing. Video blogging, I should say. Video blogging. It's great. It's great for facing this way, but for video blogging, Flip MinoHD, because the ZI-8, you have no idea how many times I had to redo videos because I was completely out of focus, or it was just a little bit out of focus, because I'm very anal. I like things being right. And the fact that the Flip MinoHD is much better at arm's length video blogging, that's a huge deal to me, and that alone sells the camera. Yes, it may not have features like a mic in and 1080p support and photo mode and macro mode, but if you're really looking for a simple camera and you're looking for video blogging, or basically just videos with your friends or family or whatever you want to record, then I cannot say this enough. The Flip MinoHD 2nd generation is definitely worth a buy. Anyway, as mentioned, all these products will be in the sidebar to the right of me if you're interested in buying them. That goes for the flip camera, even the Kodak ZI-8 since I mentioned that one. The wall charger for the camera. By the way, this kind of slides out in case you're wondering what that click was. And then my case also, which comes with a free tripod. Great purchase. Alright guys, as usual, I may have missed a few things here and there, so if you have any questions, as always, post them in the comment section and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And also, check out my unboxing video of the flip camera if you're interested in watching that. And also, go to my channel, search, your Flip MinoHD questions answered. That's where I took like 10 or so questions on the social blog at my website. And I answered them on video because I got a lot of questions. I got 34 comments, I think, which is pretty cool. So, as usual, guys, thanks for your support. Special thanks again to Cisco. Check out my social links in the sidebar, Facebook, Twitter, Daily Booth, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace. I don't know what that was.